Yama kwa babiem de ba Adom TV Badwam dwumadie so ene sede di kaka no eye wukwada ogefo bosome no ne da etoso aduonu enene na kanefo anwotwe na ye de bosome no ekwa wiye anopai yatena seso a na ye ba badwendwe ye man Ghana ho ensem a edika ene ye begu apaso na enya ntobose adoso apensim mu sede sefata sede bribia ye ne dwumadie so no ye wo etitire ne empanimfo pii e wo fidua mu ane de ye no mu ebedi dwuma no ne ensem bai enye baba dwendwen ho se oman se ohwemu a nyame adoma wo kyena ena oman mremu se de emrekunu ne hye se omampani abribia wo so oman ye bobre ye gina bre ene ye tena bre ode eto abedwafo anim ne nam nso edu ompasua so na omanfo nyina eti ebie state of the nations address no wo kyena ena eba so na efri bra omampani John Dramani Mahama ne tena dwaso se Ghana mampani no esan apotwe ne mentem ho ase a epie abato ne kinti no ase entiase anya adwuma nti ukomrahye bi mfi Adom kuma no enwuma ene nneoma ahodo pii na ekoso a omotwe mo edi efirimu na we ene na ye bisa senti wo kyena nyame Adom a state of the nations address a eba so no ya omampani John Dramani Mahama ekwakoma no minority no to mbetena se na omo atie bi ne mpomutie a wono behwe adosudusu no ana sempo wo kyena so wombe na gongon sede bra yesu ai no wono eyeye no eno da nchenso a enra eye coalition of Ghanaian voters omuso ede ne se let my vote stand omuso echo peace march na omuwie no mdo manu disem kopi o memra se bedwafie a chese wo hwe asema omde koda mpanimfo na emu no omukyeremu a let my vote count alliance for no chese omu eni nsohwe omdo oni abon ho asafo hene na omu nam o man ntworo ne ntwea so etwabo mampani a chese omotete omonsa no omukyerem so omutumira omde omukyere sienti eye era esla usu a ono ye maship dwani mabli kuma west na omotrens omonsa wone super se mami ofro mampani se wo kromfo nti betimi a ye mfre no nomra meyi na no e won sansem no ho eno so ebenya to boase na yewrem na yahwe ene na mframa mu atisi ye no damanfo ano omo wi ne setwa pia ne anopa wi anwumre se omanioma agiegu a chese nukre ni nyame anim sikasem ne ade enkoyi nti ase ekobasa aso na pampam mo edu dwetri ebewura omemu na ni nyina mu no omampani abedi akire pakosie misa ata ede aba betudwa se omani ma ntete mpansam yesa sebe yesi achia ne muye esinkasabebo nyina na ansa na yebekọ yempanimfo so yenkwa amaso na ye ne owura Bernard Muna PNC amanyuko ne twetwefo pani a ono nso oka ye coalition of Ghanaian voters no ho ye ne no enkotwetwe nkomo opani Muna ye mwakwaba de ba Adom TV Badwam dwumadie so
Meda so bebre
na ene manyina abokọ de
o da hol my name pai bo bibia ye
yo opani anopai de enye boni bi se enra coalition of Ghanaian voters mutu anamo edmoni kire omemra so biafia moadwempo ne mpo mususue mukunkyere gunkrata so asempoten be na ne womu a mode kodan emraso bemfo
o ye se ye nyina yete asomdwe ewo oman yi ye mpenten didie ye pese obia empena ento ye nyina ye respect Ghana constitution ye nyina ye dia ma ye ho ye pese ye mfa ebuo emma ye mpenyimfo a ye yiye enye ye nyina na eye se ye minje se yakoyi we se ondi ye bin ushe elections bia ewo wiasia eye nipa enye 100% and obi etimi edi ansa na wadi nkuni nti ye hwe we nyina no na kire se eye se ye mfa obuo emma na nsanyi ushe ye niamobi ya no mo ko platforms a intembidie nsemhu ena eya omoka santemhu no amoka no obetimi ama obi buefu na edentokwa ene basabasa aba nti yan enra no yakase yenim se Supreme Court case ba ho na se case da Supreme Court a ekire se yi nyina yantu yebo ase na Supreme Court no ontimi hwehwe ni omanemu na onka nkyere nia efa mraso se yentimi enfaye na sa case no da ho na yeminam ye organize programs na ye organize no na wakot binaho na wetimi aka se Supreme Court nim na se case no anko bibia omonkai se judges yekum omo 1983 na no so nti they say you are putting the fear of death in our judges. And no, and some say yanka. Na one manipa begin platform so no more say. I say on Munchile so Munia Beno, impeding for Mamma Quine, no Munfa bombs and to Nipa Kamu, and na Enkum Nipa, and now Omuma Quine say, Yamfa bombs and call schools. Now schools now all the bombs are now per se on bombs in Kono. And your party, Baku Pet and an Nipa, and now Nima Echo Sa school. Bia the Bawa Sa school. Be our grandpa on your party, you know, Bawa Sa school. But because you are you are disappointed in elections results, no, or you are contesting election results, no, you are going to bomb schools as a show of your anger. And no, and yeka say ma yesa. Na ye MPs be wo almost akwadina platforms. And now omo kan say me na mo ka say daddy ya kokoto na ye ndie court na ye kono obi ena wo wia ye ana obi owi president ye owi nti ye pese you nti ya ye gina ha no oye owi a ye pese you describe the person as it is, my mention is and clearly no, the answer cano, and yet Nipacron, and yet John Dramani Mahama, and Pet and Oka is denigrating the presidency and bringing the name of the presidency into dispute. You can say, Oti Odeniama Akokot, only said the beer and Koye, and Ankoye Efa president now. Court no se court na nkyerɛ sɛ saa nsɛm na ɔka no eboma na enwom ɛwɔ kwan so ana amfa mmra so timi nka sɛ saa nipa korɔ no ɔnyɛ president the laws mandate sɛ saa nipa korɔ no ɛsɛ ɔnyɛ the presidency into the time that he is president until the determination of the court no adan ɛna yɛntumi fa ebuo ɛmma saa nipa korɔ no said that sɛ ɔkyena sɛ ebeduru so a na obiara tumi ka sɛ yɛn so yɛmfa ebuo ɛmma o nti we nyina ene kan ya yede ye petition eco speaker of parliament say ono any parliament omo ye dedikasi a omo betimi ama nyama akoye nti omo mfesa ni pakoro na one omo ntinasi wo privileges committee na nhwe ni omo betimi aye na emphasis say you cannot be attacking the integrity of the president, insulting the president, causing fear and panic particularly among the judiciary. Young no was to fortify the judiciary no omoyima without fear or favor. Clearly no Osha Enra Obia Okasa our platform. We guided people into the Yambodi. We went to the issues, and I think that irrespective of how people we are, we should be able to conduct our campaigns, our issues without attacking and insulting each other.
Okay. Ora Bernard Bona obejina so ama me menya let my vote count. Kuno enso emu mpanimfo no ebako. Ora Samia okuye mu akwa baba Adom TV so.
Mejo so.
Opani say coalition of Ghanaian voters. Enra omo esim pam ya. Omo de sredi akoto omanmra se biamfo anim. Se onto sa emfamfremo mpanimfo amoda let my vote count alliance no. Sanse nukreni ekwa amonnam so a mutwa omampani adapa no enkoyie eno da nchen so a ase hwerema atwetwenwom monsam amokeka nyina mo de frefrent okwa
that's it ne di kind of amema watching amema omo show so we fidie so watching menye lady member of the let my vote count I'm on the speaker or program beyond be na in accordance with the map on the police for the more crimes or demonstration a year because of the Alliance for Accountable Government, a pro-position pressure group, a customer demonstration, Young Patriots, almost another pressure group, pro-position pressure group, let my vote count for no more made in a up-to-date police focus who hold you. Even though we have program basa bia NC they are holding on to more kind of the be more kaka the police for part me ma kwan so mo do mo fa kwan mo amma mo nuanum na na refuse o ma
ora same okume ba gina so ma me na me misa ora Bernard Muna se ye mo kwan ansa na mo kwakoya ora Bernard Muna ye ma mo kwan ansa na mo tiesi monten so a mo call parliament no
why no na ye kwan
obi a ma mo kwan
because why na ye tell my kwan
a police for
and I will say police for
na je se police for ma mo kwan
you say and I will say police for
ana me bisa na je se police for ma mo kwan
say police for my kwan ya say yan share na ya di ejuma no the unima bisa yan chiro we don't seek permission from the police to go and embark on a public manifestation.
Me da say ube so Mohammed ora Bernard
notify the police by the Public Order Act and they appropriately notified the police.
Me da say ora Samia Oku o say omo bo police for amane emra kwan so e na che say omo agitu mu ma ho
Abino is comfortable with near sa group here Abanya some kutu pan some koye omo koye but the opposition groupings na could notify police on the some your yet police for always say they are overstretched omo yesi omo yes and it shows the level of the selective application of the Public Order Act and no more edinya into NDC for group kwa koye dia ya mo koye opposition groups kwa koye dia ya de akwensidie ya de nyama bia brofu bia se ka tro me quarters me tetro and me toma wetie for no mo share let me go into the substantive matter that raise here coalition for him for voters. Interestingly, meaning the coalition they are talking about across the country, traders, are the traders part of that coalition? From Ghana Fire Total Fund were affected by the part of that coalition. Are we talking about students that have to do school fees? Are they part of that coalition? Students and school fees almost mean to Mantene Maba, one costa lie, Obunya Juma in some court to Abaso almost by. Are they part of that coalition? Bernard Mona and the group are forming. And Ghana for across the country, the mood of the country is down. For the first time in the history of our country, a tournament, a African Cup of Nations. Na ebimu program woman ni do any chairman program team a good park so it's an woman any the court case actually. Can't you see that fundamentally Ghana for feels or mabano yadaneno? If a majority of the people in winning, if near Abaya or Tisri, the popular will of the Ghanaian people are in Kabos will be other time. NPP Lucy by the slimmest of margins in 2008. President Mills. Did you see the minority members of Parliament boycotting his inauguration? Did you see the minority members of Parliament boycotting his State of the Nation's address? Because even though the largest opposition party normally loses by 40,000 votes, they still respected the verdict. How come they with the 305,000 Ghana will be brain this area? This is not a coalition of him for him. It's a coalition of self-seeking individuals. The government, as more protected their interest in the government.
Same, yes, is a moody company atom. Now, I'm from Womrashi. I don't know
me, Samuel, with Bernard Mona said any of the accusations and allegations they've made. If you are asking the Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, to hold us before the Privileges Committee, am I a parliamentary and Adom Privileges Committee? Number two, if you want the Speaker of Parliament to intervene and send a police fire on duty, the best place to go is to the police. Putting up a case before the police. Since when insulting the president even becomes an offense under our constitution? It is nowhere in our constitution telling you Bernard Mona. Me, I'm not saying to be the man Pennyata Messi.
I said morally, and you're right.
You are talking about moral issues in law, morality and law. Would you any other more your constitution more? I don't put the what to morrow. But would you man Pennyata Mount Umra? Me can't be a medium man Pennyata. May politics of insult. But if you want to apply the rules of the game and not the rule of law, you apply it to the latter. In any case, my President Kufuor friend it is a group almost always a coalition of one for the young continent. And my President knows that I'm report to Nana Kufuor the Yedi na tell me report on also or Ghana and your supporters on also or Mojani Idia Fusani Olimo. I think once the case is in court, they have a legitimate, almost this group or they have a legitimate cause to also move on the path they want to move. So after the opposition groupings, as well legitimate under a constitution, to also go about their duty. But the police cannot grant them a permit, or in fact, they cannot notify the police for the police to agree. No matter what in a street protest, while the opposition groups are there, it do almost only a quack. Then these same if individuals have the police for nature. Me and my own permission. I've given you examples. I said that AFAC, Alliance for Accountable Governance, the Young Patriot, Let My Vote Count for all these individual groupings. Some their police force there be, but where they because it favors this government. Because this government was the largest, ultimate top opposition activists will be from the other smaller parties, they're able to line in their pockets, they'll be able to parade them. But as I have said, this matter, we believe that Ghana for Ekoban is saying that electoral commission much more registered 241,000 out of the country. Court to self a list, a list of 705, not even 1,000 people. 705, that's almost 200 to 300, a repetition of names. The worst of it all is that the opposition running mates of the largest opposition party, or register Wale school beer or Efiakocho or register or Tunisia. These are fundamental issues as a coalition of him for your party. They should be concerned about the electoral process. Let us not give adventurers the opportunity. Said there's no way you can change a limping government, a failed government, and a government that is leading you nowhere. Because the electoral commission, a person will impose a government and a president on you at any time. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 a.m., it will not amount to anything. That's what we need to guard against. I believe democracy has not proven to be the best, but Winston Churchill will tell you that in the absence of anything good, the West is accepted to be the best. Now, they are talking about, just 10 seconds, they are talking about justice. Justice Theodore Meron, the first International Court of Justice judge, or say, you cannot get peace by sacrificing justice. We are talking about peace when you hear the people's mandate, then that is the peace you have is not sustainable, it's fragile. And within 4 years, you have to let us change government legitimately. But you cannot have a mafia and an evil empire system being run by a cabal and a cartel. Regardless of the Ghana it will not amount to anything because some people within the electoral commission setup to ensure that the will of the people is averted.
Mami Misawe, say a coalition of Ghanaian voters.
Voters. This coalition of representative of the Ghanaian people.
Let my vote count for how some would be at Mono, how be.
No, we don't have any problem with them. Group with the primary focus being the let my vote count people. I think you see the space between the government and the people. All those who occupy your policy, your federal space and policy space, where you have civil society groups, you have political parties, you have interest groups. Now, I am surprised that you have a civil society group that is also seeking to fill that policy space, attacking a civil society group, when in the interest of the state, they are also supposed to ensure that the ordinary person is not shortchanged. I am particularly surprised. Maybe
Bernard Muna. Bernard Muna. Say, Anna Samioku Ekan.
Well, I think that people like Samuel Oku have perfected in diversion. Yamenina Ubisano, when we say deliberately, were diverted, he has refused to comment on it, and is discussing a substantive matter that is in court. and making the conclusions that the court decisions don't even matter, and that as far as they are concerned, what they have taken is the gospel truth. And it's a court can say it's not true. They still hold that is true. If you don't believe in the efficacy of the judiciary, why do you take a matter to the court and come and be passing judgment on the same matter? I find this a disservice to our nation and our institution. Let us respect the judiciary. That is why we have gone there. So at any point in time, if we think that the judiciary and their pronouncements are bad, and therefore public court is the society that has to determine whether what we are saying is right, I'm sure that Armageddon will fall on this country. And those who are making the agitations will run and leave their sandals. Let them understand that any time the judiciary is not respected and their outcome is doubted, it is a recipe for chaos and national confusion. We want that our institutions are respected first. Second, we have not attacked anybody. Yakase, Niama mo come platform no ayensemhu ntempidie a enyefe. We went on a platform, we manifested whatever we wanted to talk without insulting anybody, without describing anybody as a thief, without saying that, hey, judges, if you don't decide a matter on this level or in this river, you suffer the consequences of murder. Yankasa, we went on a platform without saying that the president is a thief, yet we made our point. We went to a platform without telling the people of Ghana that, hey, we should throw bombs in people's cars because we are disappointed that election results did not go in favor of one particular person. The same people, some of whom are on the platform and describing the Electoral Commission as a thief, won elections to be in parliament as members of parliament. But so did the Electoral Commission still for them? And are they also thieves?
Mami Misawe, I said there are instances yedidi amampeni inform mo twetwam no biatam so ekoi mo anyumuti e dey na afi na mo pie.
Give me an example where I have mounted a platform and then we have insulted somebody.
Onka se wo o se ebinom wadidi eye amampeni info adadafofo ni biatam. Onka se wo amodin.
We are rectifying wrongs in our society and they still want us to go back to the wrong, determine them by their character.
Okay. Ora Bernard Mona.
Mami we say. In some I can say all of us. And when you want to talk, almost say, oh, you are not representative of the people. Matter. In elections in every country, you can't get 100%. I agree. And now you call no. Okay, say Mami Ekuya Donko. She belongs to the NDC. And yes, sir. Osi Odike belongs to the NDC. Osi Apalu belongs to the NDC. Osi Bernard Mona belongs to the NDC. Such frivolous and trivial arguments that at any point in time you are just trying to box people into a corner and then use that as the basis to make arguments is not what we are looking for. Let those who say that their votes should count respect the institutions of justice. Let them respect the laws of our land that says that until the court determine otherwise, the person who has been sworn in is president. Give him the respect. Say that tomorrow when you become president, others can respect you. And start flim-panting from one end to the other and think that when you diverse and digress and you are talking about a matter that is in court, those who were calling the president a chief and said that is what Nana Addo Dankwa Bawumia and Jay Kotanka took to court. In their petition, did they file that the president was a chief? They were talking about irregularities. How can irregularities suddenly constitute thievery? Let our friends go and learn small and come back.
Ya beda wasipi Ora Bernard Mona wono eye PNC amanyoko no twetwe for penny was sign eka coalition for Ghanaian voters ho na Ora Samia Ukusu deputy communications director dema MPP amanyoko no ono so eka let my vote count alliance na ho omo ene no mo twetwe nkomo anopai e de efa petitioner enra coalition for Ghanaian voters e de call me emrashibrenfie Adom TV so na waso egu awuti obetimi akoso e de wadwentre afa 1760 na we edia wode aba wose MPP NDC omunyina be kronsa efise mehunze omo betena konwa no so a omo ka omo bo nyina je so omo te ansana wo mu ade omo adwena bo mamu ne so no nti so na amasisi no eniema enkoyie no ampofo 24 nana na odi we ebai afei yenhwe yempanimfo a ene ye ne omo atwetwe nkomo abra ye pensen nsema hodo a aba edwa no so no mensabu nkum so pe honorable Titus Glover ono ne mrase bidwani ma tema east na afei so TV ni so se wo hwe a oni fa so pa no honorable Ahmed Ibrahim oye MP for Banda penifo mwakwaba na bibia boko de ye de nyankopon ase honorable Titus Glover mention say mate say wo ye dwumadie bi fund bi aja wo de beboa nipa wo mpesua so ho asem te sen
me da se ne dikan mechia mo amohwe nyina wo Adom TV so no pay na yendo bo ade ase se wa ya Adom a ana yetinkwamu a ye bedim pensem mo as parliamentarians, your core functions is a yebeshishe mra or mrashe bedroom. Na a bad development na Ghana for adwin was yes ye bibi a minimum a yardring. Na nansem se Ghana for besha na sene jashishi no esi air call or your kumu hanwa a yadia na a habibri. Tema BBC Paint on the 12th of January. Jakese bi si ho pa na wo hwe nyama ese ye no na no odin enti mi ami ko hobi mi gina ho for the past 3 days na ye dum gya no nyina no me koba sa enti ne chire no na me twro letter de ko ma Ghana National Fire Service e wotama na me dawo mase kwa won fa so a ye di ko gya na de gapo afo de tama refinery e so many no penedi to manim say omodisre di pa ha won pa ne bebia personal ndi won omuti ebeto in terms of accommodation we share police na we share soldier for no a omnyom wo barracks na se bibi AC a ye from nyina ba fa ko a eno ase ye somo omo a na ye kobre sa de na se ba fa service ye ni bi sa they no need barracks
okay
what I say na Tema is an industrial city of this country na we share ja etutoto tamana e ade ana asumbi pa and be to the news a measure in my baby. Me be lunch and endowment fund, me common fund. This can be back or chassis between 20,000. As can I ban me the big chassis, my crater at the common human penny for you na a waterman, hotel for industries, petrol filling stations. A human penny, yen I am born and bow. Now yen sit down about 10 story accommodation. Name from my fire service for no because a journey she sa no fire tender na we see ho no depending on the shift and penyimfo no bebe dwuma no so mo anopa shift to omo awia ana anajo a so omo koso omo kodum gya no a eme ye kwanso a but the basa gya no ano adin a and we see a frefre won nyina fi won fie now people are coming from their
reinforcement no
you understand that is the problem and is omo wo fa ko a etumi bre eboa amede nyina ebe koso
na wonya asase de
omo asasi kakraka e wo tamawo
okay
aya twan aban ya bon ban sase no supa enti anopai bulldozer beko
okay
akwadwire kwan asase no
so mo asase kra da
me chese me bibia me the plan ko TDC
I hit the ground running
seriously me ye bibia enti mesre eja ya be enye politics asa
e obi a business
because who wo fie na wo so gas kra wan hwe besi wo fie me mpese di we ben ya manyosam say MPP MP and no call lunch and dam fan. It is about fire na ban me your statement e wo floor of parliament nanu a me nwan nyina me name a colleague e wo where's the place I'm from onu so ye fire that same day jashishen kwa be faso na fast service when adwuma no was ye tie ne ye de di ko enye police nkwa ni soja fo nkwa eja no was ye de ye ni ko na aban soja fo police fo ni fa fo no was ye nsho mo eja e shi ko ba nyina no panyini owo yiri ni busuafo wo fie o na wuzi ongo dumuja oni insurance fa no
o so jane ba
menti bi statement ba so dwane mi said me ye mi interior minister Ms. Honorable Ahoy or call Veti no ya bisa no he agree with what I'm saying say was see tie ni e de hwe fa self so BNI e de national self nyina ni ensure mo nyina say na dwuma na mo ye no omo yom de omo kwanti ne kwanso nyame ya dum a
yes the offer dia fa eni piano kwan bia so yes be hwe kwan be fa so a e be boa ma adwempa odi esiwani so ebitimi awiemu dia mame sama honorable Ahmed Ibrahim MP for Banda Akwaba opening you look fresh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, as always. Na anope asemo ye de chase ye nhwe enkomo ye di sisi a ifa eye coalition for Ghanaian voters. Womo asemo a enra wonu si mu pampampa ne bi twimo mu me ne bi so apa gentri bi ya chia na mrahye bi mfie santan. Womo koya womo say let my vote count for. Isi a ateni na doso. Ebinom ene womo tete womo sa na ra esla usu de mrahye bi ni Mablik ma West. Womo kire mu a privileges committee no kranton sam friend na omo mi se bisa ne sem sanse amena na no ya se me so a wo trouble man pani papa enya asem ketwa am fa nhyase free era title so someone eba alliance let my vote count alliance foi na a coalition for Ghanaian voters ekuo ne kantakuo fasudie bi eba so na omo asem omo di tudwa so ye fa no enso bi
me da se opinion said now to me near Ambit, the Betra, more platform is so. And Ashanti region, Council of State elections. A brand to be a Kubia, or say Yakoma bribe at the 20 into the Casemuno and the Case, and this is one. I'm on the Juma, say Uncle Tiku, and you let my vote stand.
Yeah,
Zuba. Na senya ade ne koye ne yale nti adwuma no ga onye biom e wo fidie so na I'm not surprised in the new chire no o ka say onye biom no because I knew say something like this was coming
the claim so ne love Erastus Asare don ko ne di san kom
so we jate and you born ni yeah wo born ni wa so I'm not surprised owura a park ono so the way e di abeto all because the NDC government and you're comfortable with the let my vote counter a pra omo church and yamamu edima Ghana for
do patches abranti zuba ku na nko ba betina
that is say just enubia ena woni ye na openyini wonim mimi enkrani o yesi na bona wi otwepo wo aponcherani ye very bibi when you suppress wo suppress nipa edu baby a ogine ho wo bisa good wo bisa samebu ko bisa for the saying Bernard say why is the police doing selective work ye nyina ye Ghana for na say ye adwuma bi ebetu dwa enemran ma yakwa under the Public Order Act say ye mbobo mamane na mo ma yakwa ni ye ngode ye de mo ma yakwa ma ye
you say mo far right processes
please this is not the first time. Young Patriot, I was once the director of operations. Young Patriot, ejuma bi aye bia no ye choro me na me sign ye de kotu police for anim ne bani sign na Young Patriot for omo person omo ye demonstration and na police for catch am say ye ma won ma ye afak for person omo ye bibi ye see ye ma ye demonstration please these are public, they are going to the street, state sponsored, they are going to the street. This is an appendage of the NDC. Omuko yomadi, omudi mama mkwan, so munko parliament. But in any case, min kasa tebdidie eya dia wose ye faso. Enye opening die or your opening. I was ye kakakasa ehutiye.
You be kura say penny ni hwe kura abatwe.
So that's it. Min kasa omampeni ye ndidi natem. But you see, any ye di hwe nyama okromu ano. Eya, emboye. Yeti kromwa. Mo sister station, Asempa FM. A seasoned lawyer penimpa kakresa moi etra Asempa FM fidie so. E kan say Supreme Court. E boasem no e di mana nado eni nuano mo a obe support coup d'etat. Any serious statement? And no natural secret bevolate. Was it here? NDC penyifo no apak no nyina no wonso mo ntisa asem no obisa obe support coup d'etat se mi kwesi na me kan sa asem ya se nka me da abanku gum samewu ku ne kan sa asem ya anka onopai oda abanku gum na ebi mi de omko kan bibi ewo ayi let my vote what is saying count no
alliance
masuma police for say invite ko the Medina police station packet somewhere e kan sasem we e wo radio so e no nam free e no be share no work awugudi junction
na je see akoye say ye hwekunu ni anim ni amane mo
exactly that's what is happening
uni anim ayem pass
the same as Sempa FM NDC Sirakola efreye say after President Mama Ochini any regional house of chiefs Puyamantem ahimfo no ko kosra mampeni ye board na ye man mu na ade no ogitum say Supreme Court di etia obia no a obegya tum no NDC Sirakola from Achama a friend to the program because NDC for the de akum beba kromwa na Bernard Muna any a pack any one of come nyina no say bi no mo hifa obeni where were they de say bi ye saints ya soro bofo nti obia sorry a no nge ndi o so ka de bi ma ye nyama bi sa se wusi ni akwesi ye ka enya asem papa ene ni akwa me so kan na se nya mo ye nyina ye na so ni ye nka se da bi nsem a ye kan nya nsem a ebeboa ye obe wuti ase ene kure asema abei enya asem kese na se nkrofo aso lie atwa ba fitu number ko na ni vote obi ani be to na ba no donko ye to abade akọ ni at the end of the day na abato a ye tui ye hu be bia ye vote afa ye kan mun mi ye kan sem the first asem of Supreme Court ni judge me ye kan wansem enu bia na ye tie but the merit of the case no won ni kwan so bobo hu de ru ana be kan wansem wuta say na se mi vote amato ya to dia mam na obi awia mi vote akọ ana wo fan vote mam kan wansem ya kokko de dem kura na se ya kan sem a wo hwe se na NDC lawyers ni bi na to daze reliefs amu siki kura no wo ba bontin a na wo ye propaganda enya ni nyina court ye mfama mo wenu mi nyema wo se ye cheche mu ye ma manfo etiase but the merit of the case you know ene wo se ye den ye komu what does here endi inso a mo twi kasaro ga ye di mami what does here so ye ni aye kan say ye see we enya we must all concede what does here politics of insults must stop akufado atambiye na yendidi akufado e wo kromo a obi dihie obi kunu obi papa obi wo fase and this for didi ata ye di papa atama just wo di ekire kra na ye de sabi obi so wo dom a ye be kasa e bia ya tia no me meti yi wo di akufado atama me be kam me ni amendeti yi me ntumi sorry and didi president mama them I will not do that and the more be so sorry no di na akufado atam because we nipa or dom of rebusuemu and we did not tell me we so sorry why then to be their money so let us get the picture clear
titles yen say bibia atwamu ne bia obi di pani bia tam na ne yanka bia na de ye hu se hwanya say pani hu hia enu nti yen hyase yen free sabre na panimfo edu omatam no yenye bibi emfa ho a emfomso be na wo
ofeso be ni emfoso bi ani emfoso bia ani say ye be sorry ye be kase de ate opini ye be di na tem me mfaso ba ye see ye hyase fi na ene yen hyase na nye utase ochihini last week of course and president enim asem okoka boni be na waka boni be na ochihini aka NDC for sorry efre no edi na tem edi na nim twi boso so see all parties should concede the decision of the Supreme Court boni be na waka yes asem and odana ochihini aka no e waka asem papa na NDC for edi na tem boni be na waye a park no mo musasem have they seen that thing a park in the group no attempt did NDC for the deal ochihini last week was one of the topical issues across social networks so
yes yeah anya NDC for kwa ma me akua donko e ka ho bi Kofi Akpalu
omo nyina mo wahi no ye di
omo nyina akapo no
where were they you say ochihini na no this year and this the asemna okano akufa the suma no so aba adai ayinfo ni nyina koshia kasa e dia fa obeni kasa mo fo soro na wakoka he never spoke for himself okosama ayinfo ni nenemani nananu mo eastern region na wakoka sa bosu ni adi ni abesi aboso ye twene
Titus medawa waso mu ha na
anti atamide
ye beto aso
me nka say we sorry
na ne kufa do dey ko so ma wo chehine
and na president Mozambique and mo bi so ndidi obi atam
ma me nko honorable Ahmed Ibrahim honorable
ye menu
ye da pron so no
am edi kama me fa akwanya so enchia yentifo nyina asema abano nse tato so kasama edin
akra na me kase bia yo bia ofere ya dintina
na me dwene na me pese me hu ne ye pese ye hu NDC MPP CPP
die kra na ye gie
die na ye hwehwe e wo man no
ani bebrebe yi
enua ye nyina tworo krata e de yensa ahase se we ni amamra ye di bo man no se asem ba e wo me ne wo abrabo anase asitramu a kwan ben na e wo se ye di fa so clearly constitutional state se bibi sa ba ye to aba na mentimi ho ase bi wo mu a ye mfa nkodan Supreme Court ye to aba na mentimi ho ase ba mu ye di akodan Supreme Court guso a oye na dwuma ye na ye di case na ko ho no asan ba betransi ase we die e wo se menye ni se Supreme Court se na me hwehwe no sa no mbeka no nti e wo se me ye bibi e fa ho and that is clearly what is happening ndi se ye ni gidie e wo Supreme Court ma kan ye nka ye be that is the first question and clearly speaking menua ndi e kwa nyina Ghana floating voters ne doso ye kan nyina NDC MPP so call the core group unya 50% in either of the parties floating voters
more 40s
exactly omo di omo ani to form ehwedin ni ebe boa oman na omo ato akọ no they form the majority and omo no omo se omo no omo ye kingmakers osi ahene no ewo oman no so clearly speaking there aba we no more to omo as if the nation belongs to political parties which is very bad and not true and ye kan nyina which party has never been on power before CPP aba omo di oman so akọ
akwa don come my PPP so my na apalu so my odike so party so my
we clearly speaking enunti ana wan hwe ande e wo kan te na beka se ande enunti na ma akwa don come no ka se my MPP ni NDC se oman no mo no ma oman no yemfa mranya adwuma
akwa don come so ba ya nka nyema nyina yefi
so bia na onu so aba ne die bi but menu ande mi ka ko sini se clearly speaking emu bi wo ha yeto aye ne nye ne menu atato so kan is true 2 weeks ago ana say 2 weeks ago na betra sa Zuba speech ya odi buy me refute say it was never true and
enye true say voice ne nye Zuba ana say the Zuba
enye true say NDC was going to sponsor Zuba to come and do lemon votes.
Yes, Ibo mo chichi efiri so ase be ka cho say den chemewu a enyi na chi ana
here was the case say he was a wounded lion
nti eni bre ni mujahie
na kan that's how I made my statement on that day and clearly speaking eno enye a better solution say upese ne aba no so anu a that will not be a better solution una oti your mind so you are sitting on the chair as a government una will control national security boni bi ba o man no ma you will be held responsible who din na bebo enti una say o hwehwe say there will be peace at all costs you protect everybody because you aba ema uya as a government it's your responsibility to make sure say obia betrasi e wa asumwe no ema o man no because eno nti e na natural constitution enti say me betran konwa no so and that is why I refuted what Zuba said say me na me wo me new opposition metia konwa no so and at the aim of every political party is to capture power no so e wo ndiye say o hwe say adwuma obeye ama power no ya san renew amount eno ne beye obutaya a esi wani so
anim so obi betimi atwetwe waso ama wani so ari hunu kura ba
country eno na in politics in leadership you must stay focused say we a leader let me use football as an example. Who a football striker now the ball will call inner perimeter akoshe goal no penalty line. Unya ndru aka na draw no obi twa wo say me to na abebo free kick. I don't know struggle and do penalty line. Your focus must be to deliver. Obstruction in politics it happens. Digressionary tactics ni nyina ka politics ho. Inti e was that who say Suba we this is what he wants to achieve. Inti me so me man kwan e mane achieving his aim no. Because if opposition aims at achieving their aim, it means make us say, "Oh, tia akunyano so no opposition here ni bibi." Now who new strategy who di kono ka say, "Oh, kokanta or no." You may lose focus. Me wa 4 years na dia ma wo. Who lose focus on their now time ko. You see ni mo ntimi o so tetontom. Me na one politician be na ye entertain into mother. That is why look go to parliament. There was serious problem in this country. You go to parliament. I say when you are in government you have a son. When you are in opposition you have a son. And there was nyumbia baby obejina bia and there was a utu. And will he help this country? I think that it has come a long way and we have to change. And not politics of insult, the late Professor Mills, or kaya, and we are at where we are. And clearly speaking, near Abba, say let man vote stand, less man this. Whether you notify the police, you seek permission from the police, and all those kind of things. The Constitution is clear. Minua. Constitution is very clear. Near Article 22, 122, content of Parliament, and no any privileges committee. And I say, Oba, your standing orders no more. Order 28 is clear. Ye won ye bia onipaya eno. Oka say niya waye. What listen? What bo Parliament? And ni science ye do echo privileges committee. Those things are clear in the Constitution and the standing orders. In this, let man vote count. Ni let man vote and let man vote stand.
We more than a coalition for Ghanaian voters.
Okay, and NDC DN let man vote stand. And we back. And you let man. That let man vote stand.
I'm match no more dabe no. Let my vote stand. But Ekuna Nkasa they say a coalition of Ghanaian voters. The names are the crown sounds and so near them.
Actually, let my vote stand be by and then you NDC phobia. Clearly speaking, Minua, the Mika question say, hey, normal parliament, you know, say, Ushe, anything I may try dinner or casena. Near Juma at that parliament in this crucial time. From this time up to 29th March, ye kwako sorry, mama obiako in the constituency. If I read the parliamentary calendar to you, Ube who's a parliament, it was serious business, pa. You need cooperation and compromise at this time. Ye kwako now, Udia mo being lazy because Udi so sa e no mo dia ba no. It is up to the speaker to raise it and refer it on the floor to the appropriate committee, which is the Privileges Committee. Privileges Committee no, headed by the first Deputy Speaker, Ebo Bratin Odro. That first Deputy Speaker no a leader of Appointment Committee. Omanpenye head in the Deputy Ministers ever in Parliament. So Appointment Committee no, headed by this one same person. Or no all chair Appointment Committee. Or no chair Privileges Committee. Time ben or that Privileges Committee case we and here one. Secondly, then you come to the second point. Ochna or man paying about Parliament. Or read State of the Nation's address. Or read the State of the Nation's address Tuesday, Friday, started debate. But Tuesday, next week Tuesday, started debate on the State of the Nation's address. No for the week. The following week. The following week, you know, on my pensions by Parliament, every budget. Minister for Finance, every budget on behalf of the President. And also, we are going to use 2 weeks. Ni na ye bobo
say be ni tia o nyina se mu ni ada.
Ye ni parliament ni ada enya so those things no. If it is true that Esla did those kind of things and she deserved to come before the why not the court? That is what would have been the shortest way. Privileges committee, no, it has the status of a court too, but it has no prosecutorial powers. Exactly. Into a parliamentary court and a modern neighbor. So me, the American say, this is the time say we should have been working for a compromise to make sure say you bet to me or man penny jumana because yam passing budget now yen to me hit the state running. As I'm talking now, the government needs the budget as well as possible. And a budget you need a consensus because a mining seeker and a parliament apart from the 3 key powers: oversight, legislation, and the power of the purse. So the power of the purse, and within these 2-3 weeks, I was say yeah. Into Yakotrawo, Mra, even minority boycott of ministerial vetting. And Ukra Omana Kaya, but because majority is the majority, they are able to carry on with the vetting. But budget, you need both sides. Because the budget, no ba committee, be a committee worker, a honor politics in you. You speak as a Ghanaian. You be born man in your so you need all the 275 members of parliament, even Esla. We need him. We need her. We hear Obiana ya baba be you know. But the woman said the advisor me met me a man say if it is true, minua. What's the title to cast say he cannot insult even the president. And I'm also in the same thing. My predecessor he insulted his own president. And I capitalized on this, and that is what brought me to parliament. Ghana formed part of the deal. And no matter who you are as a politician, you are elected by a constituent. Into one Shawbeka said, attempt the people endorse, the people enjoy it. Somebody insulted his own president, President Kufuor. So me, sometimes me betraha, me kasa, me President Kufuor. Sometimes there are some of these people who call me. Papa now who president. That brought me to parliament. Embra sa alani another case by and my predecessor thought President Kufuor was for Alan. No call on air, insulted him. And the people who call her, I'm not for President Kufuor. I'm telling you today, it is not everybody who hates him. Politician fine. And I inherited his lovers. Added to my people. And I'm here today. The
lovers as in
the floating button. Okay. Good. And that brought me here. In politics, you don't need to be hostile. Ghana for your hojo, your boadie, your bray wasi. Into who ye jumana. Don't think say me we are people. There are certain people who may enjoy that, but they are the minority.
Okay.
Not the minority as we know it in parliament, but they are the smaller population. That is the point I'm
okay. Honorable
Parliament, I don't see the basis to conclude. I don't see the basis for that petition before Parliament based on the Constitution and the standing orders. However, unless it is an affront to the dignity of Parliament. And then there's a basis. We did not call Parliament. But I can say, where the president attended me, no air call Parliament as a content of breaches.
And there be our privileges committee.
I may not see. Just I may call Speaker Berry their petition before the House and refer it to the appropriate committee. A honor and a Fapima. But on the whole, President Mama from the time we hear in the politics now up to this day, he's not perturbed by some of those comments. But I believe say now highlighting now any case. But in this assistance, I don't see nobody even gave it a pinch of this. But I say no, a month for even Benin, Israel, is going before the privileges committee.
Okay.
Into me, I will not endorse it.
Okay.
Amadi Kasano. Or see, near let my vote count for no year no say they have no confidence in the Supreme Court. I totally disagree with him. And yes, obia we Ghana mapa have full confidence in the judiciary. Enunjina hidi asamakosi. Na amenumba kaya. Say you see one more confidence. That is the NDC. Mudi efia came. When this case started, NDC for Echom Callis, Eko General Count High Street or Ekite Fia Sebi, Obia Oshe MPP Asumadiye Callis, Oba Onyim Apim for Obi Oshe or Chum Namudi Ken Esheno Ebuno. If you do that, do you have a confidence in the police? Sorry, in the judiciary? Muna mu se mu share judiciary. Mu ena mu na mu se mu judiciary. Na apak any Ekwadonko any or they say Mona omo yiva. Minti se Kennedy Benan Mona e kasa de nda. When the end is you park car and you check gains. Yadima naturally. You see, you remove the speck from your eyes before you can go and look at the log in somebody's eyes. Who does it? Nyame koso nyina no. Bernard, any apak, almost almost win no. You did fear, Eddie Akojina called ye buni padasani. Say Boni Benawaye. The Asema court, I hear the atom. And the account 1 year, who don't have confidence judiciary, I think it is your end.
Okay.
But ye can't wait in a conya banyanano. Obudie, it was here, Abofra, and no paying in your book. And the Maya man bedding Ebecoso. But you vote in the year, and then no crack. When we have voted, and the more we have voted, no, Nicha de Acoso, Savlugunia, the idea. When we have voted, and the Esla Air can say, Juloe, a more lair. A job was Savlugu. A Juloe, a more lair, no Cronfoni, Yachino, and Cancasa Oka. And then the Acoso was Savlugu, and that way. As I know the Supreme Court to bit me, actually, say, we am vote, and I say, Yemuaye, say, Sabantinia. Eja ena etre for adwen trefa 1760 na yegen kama Adom TV Badwam dwumadie empensem ne eguso amedin edna na sei ampofo eje na yera titles Glover ene pania ono nso ne din ene Ahmed Ibrahim MP for Banda ena mene wo mu eye empensem ne mom yese pemse yefo omu ebisa wase a omu bisa wodan omu misa usika ene ti bebia wodi uti ebeto so wo brato kaya kese one ma kese bedi atrantwi ni ade a ni nyina mu no awie wantimi ensidan a na wa mobra enisa enuti ene Blue Rose Limited a mo ye leading real estate developers ena wonom abi wonom aprato dagwa se bomoden na de bra na ne mo bedi nkita ho bi kakra bi fato ase no mo hyase ensi udama so pe 2 bedroom 3 bedroom ana se open sei wo mo ankasa sisi dan kama ho a oto ase a woko wanim kakra wani beba ho so no na wasidan no ne siwa na simple wato dan emu a efe pa no so betu anya babi di utrato dache wabrabo mu wiye no ya eno ene asem no enti Blue Rose for sian kanche obo modern a wo mo city ho ewo Bujumburam tse ene school dan wo ho ya sabia ene nsore bibia recreational center bibia ewo nti aya na do ni a kire no aso akwakwako bibia omo number no 020 209 9622 020 209 9622 na 020 435341 afei nyame Adom a tachimafo mumum entwen yeba tachima Adom TV concert party afei ena adenden ya 24th nyame Adom a yeba tachima community center ene no nai pepe ni ahyase ye brumu akosi se wankasa bebre adumtofo a eba no omo edoso pa ka chiri kwame apia Soroko on the 24 polythene bag omo ba afi enesto poku ena CST amankwa nyasem keto akora 24 mu hia so nim sa Adom TV concert party de ba ni tie nko a ne ho asem so de na 6 March so de ene edunkwafo nyasem keto a no na no so ka chiri kwame apia enesto poku ena kohwie gunum ne Johnny Black omo nyina eba dunkwa no so no 4 PM saa nyame Adom 6 March Ghana AD Independence no na yeso ye di concert ewo henfa dunkwa ama enije aba omanfo ababom yentoa yenkomo twetwe ne so na afei yenkwe nyame Adom a wo kina State of the Nations address baso yera titles minority moko anamo ba well mean na me kase yebe kwa na se yenko we are dealing with principles abato ya to yi ye gidie ka kire yen say ye wia na do dam kwaku fado any MPP amanyoko esan say evidence a ye kita wo yen samu a ye de yakọ to Supreme Court enim no esumbi papa enu nti na ye gina so ye kan say there bi appointing committee no yanko esan say nipa na electoral commission the abanya no man no ye ngentum enu nti yakọ Supreme Court ye hwe asem no ne esi aka na yaka we nyina de ewie no nyame ya adom a ochina yawo oba na mintumi ntra ha is a collective work ye ewo mnahye bedwom na ye hwe kwan be fa so a yensu be ye adwuma. So honestly the president is welcome. It's his constitutional duty say obewa parliament because feed parliament no obe close no oma nkan say nyama wo se oka nyina no otwetwa so but the state of the nation address no odin nyina beba e dey abeto parliament na ya pensem mu and in brief no whether we are going or not going I don't know mean to me ya no
sir mo aka say bibia efa omani mpuntu ne nchechire ho de ene e modum ho bagim na budget so state of the nation's address so de oman yete bia say ekoyie say nkoyie na wo kire de betu
no kra ye kan ye bibia
na wo de tudwa so ya mu doso mu nti mo anko ankoti
bibia any president mama na mambo no enko based on Supreme Court ruling na eba no and na evidence before them no and ye ndu adwuma what you say but idea be che that will last beyond President John Mahama there ye the yomba fam bi ama yaka what you say enti nyame ya dum a ochina so oba enti definitely will meet as a caucus ye be hia ye be pensem mu ye be tutu adwene as ye be ko anase ye nko a emeredu a ye be hwe
all right Ibrahim Meba answer me about so no my main kind messages we kakra. We say NDC should stop saying that the MPP must put a stop to the let my vote count because Ghana is not for NDC and their general mosquito. We yakini energy we buy now we say no work no pay. We vote for them to work for the nation, not MPP party. Eric Obuasi so they are they I don't know. We say let Mona Ayariga know that Liman Moro Igala will not forgive them for destroying PNC for their selfish desire. Aisha Baton and so energy way free to move and we say is like Usu married. I don't think so. Like her husband will advise her. I could see down so and so the different baby any Western region. Nat, I say I agree with Razak, but I'm say we for the from. Good morning to you and your panel. Please ask the Controller and Accountant General Department when they are going to give teachers November, January pay slip. Sammy and a different Koko Ebanawisi Samioku and his group are just in for mischief. They have never accepted any elections. They've lost. We any asema on so there. We there what they Eban say MPP MPs should stop boycotts because they all received rent allowance. Kofi na different session.
Answer na Ahmed
Etwa na.
Oh, Mchimi. Na ya busy ye rent allowance. Bisan say when the honorable Badwam, now he was the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee for 2 years. Omo nyejuma. Esan say President Kufuor I extended the contract of Dua Ajiman, then Auditor General, because the NDC refused to work with him for 2 years. Nyejuma. E wo mache bedwom. Or they saying honorable Dana Bodakpi. Ye no to ifiase no. NDC boycott parliament for 13 days. Omanjagetwa. All these instances. Omanjagetwa.
Enunti echese eyese omanjagetwa na
different instances we are different from what you say.
And me be say eyese so bia ye bi pen. Na ye say omanjagetwa no.
This is normal parliamentary business. It's part of the game.
We abante ana minim so yababa de a silimba or the free wa also honorable titles that is good direction. You are set a good MP. This is what we need from MPs in Ghana. Sorry to say that you are in the wrong party. Media or the Eba and I'm say fund now was saying will be a name was it how could you left? Maybe I could be I didn't say the I see the private will be as said the for
we have a problem this country.
Ibrahim. Yeah, minority boycott China state of the nation. Ama a Benyan Susan will be a parliament in a so.
Men him say Nyame Adom and minority for lawyers better mufu.
Now I'm saying National Executive Committee no ebisia. Let me share
let me tell you point blank. National Executive Committee no. Ejuma omoye no. Ena Kennedy Japan bekan no. Omo amwa party no. Ena se upe uko within parliament. You realize most of MPs omo parliament on. They don't agree with even this boycott. I'm telling you. Titus make me catch you.
Ono mo din koma o mo bese chirawa na say eni ultimate hu obi tiri mu adwene.
We talk. Ye kasa send the empanyimfo no ye no. Ye ne omu nya adwene nanso monko so e.
Na chese o ma ye kwa chenchena o mo sere o ma no so mo mo
tie. Enti say the crowd sometimes man this appointment committee report no betodwa. Onu say nipa pese o kasa si ya chichire no.
Assumption na eza be na no soro no so.
Ya chichire no.
Right out of samba. Aya na bi ho no munya nka mbeka mi.
Amen so obezo.
Da bi o me ba aya bi ho no mu ahwe ase wi de munya mbeka mi.
O na say je si yankasa say aka na to.
But o ga nka unya ya nka mbeka mi.
O mi si yesi yankasa die ni ye hwe. Say your hoba die ye de koso.
Ba me nua as a matter of fact no question me say maybe second time in parliament you know and a back constitutional analysis parliamentary practice and procedure ultimately consult from both sides. Most of my consultations na ya me free opposition that is it. Most of my consultations when it comes to the parliamentary practice any standing orders now me penny be me call say na say yemba ikura say ko fast ente unconstitutional crowd and say muko raise those issues ma bana ente munya made and that is why some of those things are jai. But as a matter of fact parliament ya juma ne dey one there were 3 core functions of parliament bia mrashe bedwa bia e wo say ye one no legislation. And 2 oversight. And 3 the power of the purse. Juma the 3 core functions are parliament be obey no. Say oversight no. Ye na ye kwa oversight responsibility in all the government ministries, departments and agencies. Ministers na see ye new president in 20 or the ministers no ba ye converting. Ye me ka say last week me was say MP back wa file question okobisa minister for roads say ni krom kwan da ben na minister also wunyini ntum nti are you sure you are going to work with it? That is one of the flaws. Then secondly nipa una wo kohwe no so nipa also wunyini ntum exactly. That is the first problem. The second problem unyi omanpanyin be as a president bia no a short time he's bringing a State of the Nation address per Article 34 Clause 2 and also Article 67 of this Constitution. The President of the Republic of Ghana every year he must cause to come to Parliament and explain the problems, the progress, the challenges, and how he is going to help to solve the problems. Ghana for mutu abama ye nyina ba Parliament. They say, as a matter of fact, the urban say, electricity, it will problem. Water, it will problem. Omanpenyini eba Parliament. Temafo omu factories. Edri yema light off for omu problem. They will be expecting say, honorable titles global matu abama no. Obeba betra Parliament no ne manpenyini ahwe kwa omu befa so a omu solve problem. Ukwa na akobo omu amane. Into one ma na say omanpenyini na wo ye nana. He said, so they will come. I know they will come. Then you come to the third one. That is the budget. Titles are raising fund. The ordinary common fund be common fund ye nyam pass you. Ye budget na ye di ba no. We allocated 200 million to the fire service e yina okwakosi no.
Ade e ba beka ho asem na.
Ye ba beka wo si unko.
Okonyo maje so mbeko no.
Wo si unko.
Ehusika wo bu.
Ehusika wa bu unko ta budget mi di 200 million be shata.
Onim say dey beba. I say akora ni bonya ta, onim say dey papa beto ama.
You see, these three core functions, clearly speaking, I know they will come. But only maybe what problem be with it happens in any party. Ejuma Ghana, maka ministerial oversight, maka the power of the that is the budget. Meba the legislation. Ndientia enunsu ombebano. Legislation na Parliament say na yeshembrano. It will come through the president. It will come from the president through his ministers. Bills ni a year beba laws President Mama na beba through his ministers eba Parliament. Enunsu ba mbe boycott budgeter mbe boycott minister. So what business virtually? So we part of the budget ni part of the Ephraim. Now we oversight we Ephraim. Now we legislation Ephraim. And they are Juma Pana minority be wo Parliament.
So I'm saying your man fa amamu no ho.
Ewa
is your part?
Ya Juma na maka chere.
O ba chere so my say school akwada wan go school you do feeding fee and not the agency abeje aduane.
But as a matter of fact they are seriously challenged and me pese I don't want to belabor this
me ba me ko ora Titus. The okay hu ni sa.
Ti say dey no ga.
Say is ya o pa chere say as the ekwe dey na chere say mo nye hwe o parliament ho an.
Say ye enu na say me call me select committee meeting trade and industry and tourism.
Inti no sa na soafo na ye vetin
next week Tuesday nyame ya adom.
O de asemba mo transi bobo ho.
Honorable Aruna Idrisu nyame ya adom next week Tuesday brother obakwa tourism minister ono so beba. Ye be adwuma we are still doing the oversight work.
Ni pay say ye no so do so no am say aha. O from mampani a mugiri se nyo na wo so ye mampani ho na ba na oba ne mo baba ye adwuma na mutimam motikonyam dududu.
Oh, and you and I say, I'm a deputy ranking member on the committee. And at the point in time, there will be a closure to every action that you take. Exactly. Sebi. This thing cannot continue to eternity. You have to sit down. Review. Thank you. You sit down, review whatever action that you are taking, because you also look at the circumstances and what people are saying
around.
You know, you factor all these things. The actions that you are taking. Look, let's put a break in some of these things and see what we can do to move the issue forward. What does here? And the fact say you are taking the position you are taking to there's a time to everything. What does here? And the baby, I mean, Sakrano bet me about. Okay, even though you see, you're engineering to mono, the minister Zoba committee no your in the committee work, we're looking at Ghana. You're sure President now Wabano. What does it? And now yet the programs are too form. We knew definitely we have a problem with the president in terms of the elections. But you say the minister and the what does it? So there's time for everything. There's a need to look at the review of our strategy. Says we'll look at all that.
Ma messages in kakra. Where's the Titus? If your votes were stolen, how come you are in parliament?
I was very strict. I never slept.
Also, very strict. No, we say when Asla insulted the president as a thief, where was Titus? Or you think the Ochehine is better than the president? Miss Remo, a message is Munyanto Boasia. Razak Nadi Vitamaliba, we say Honorable Isaac Yeboa. See, I'm na JHS for no Muguswati Miase. We should say, Honorable Ahmed, congratulations for your appointment to the ECOWAS Parliament. The people of Banda constituency are very proud of you. Keep the fire burning from Marina Tanko. Honorable, I'll be more congrats our appointment. Is it your ECOWAS Parliament?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Any
honorable titles no more. Me there.
Bedroom crew no. Yes, we congratulate you pa.
Thank you very much.
Say enche obetrans na. Watson Safre yaba be congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
We also there ode eba and say Mr. Mo MPP members am parliament no. Mo de anko fio na munya bla 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 na mo here na mo oman empuntu na we see Mona should know that the end product of peace is justice. A true Pepe na the free offense by Honorable Ahmed. I say your analysis of the information is like Martin Luther King Jr. Keep it up. Slimba na the free wa edi ebaye. We so or say this goes to MPP. They should stop insult after election. Or say yes, any politics. Shut up and let NDC rule our nation. Thank you. And you need people. Or see you people lack courage to question why the minority are taking salaries without work. Oh, any ebisa ho asemi. Say demand dey mo ye bi. Na ye bisa say aswafo yi amo no sisei emo no mo ba be ye adwuma. Yese mo mra meke kan manu mu hwe se esin wo mu a. Mo ankoke kan manu. Na sisei obaba na nanum hwe a. Mo de nama na dom petum a. Se ne nam nanum sa se ketrema. Na o se yi ato ho. Ko ba sa no me ne ho akire yen.
Your Korea committee, no, it's 55-45 composition of the membership. Your Korea near ABI, because your Koka, your Baka, now say yes, ye jin to moi. They still use their numbers. They still use their numbers. So what is the point?
And so said the year came. You met Jenny na a bet TV so live. It is in Tokyo Bikra or Penina Hua. Mumu bobo santuko na ebia na adwe beba se di otwa sakra no nim se de chiachi anso ono ankasa ankasa fie nipa ne de enya de obeka.
The parliamentary platform enya as powerful as media platform. Ghana for share dia e course on na ye later nsem ya senya sofo Ghana for sorry e kasatia ni appointment no ni Ghana for do na e hwe ne se on sisa no for different ministry na enya ono ankasa de ntra President Ojitu, oh yeah. So the fact that Yanko Bisa the Numasam, people behind were even making the contribution on our behalf. What I say? Public
opinion and public court.
You find your pen on the way. Also, one and person of show. Just to satisfy the gay power blocks in the Western world.
Yansha issue where Vice President Pakwesi Misa say economy not in disarray. Vice President Pakwesi Misa Ata on Tuesday assured the business and international communities that Ghana's economy was not in any mess or disarray. He said though there were challenges, government was taking the necessary steps to address them and would need more foreign direct investments in the march towards attaining full middle income status. As a issue we aba me kai say no de bonkra ta bi kra de bai say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia oye franketufo be di echi edima MPP amanyoko no renowned economist obekan say said the enyomasi egeka kono kamia so me sika sem nyina so no ense da nyina yi papa ase obi a sebisebe ne sekeka no odi mpipragro no bibi kakra bi asansa sen ne ka de chedin wa hwa na akofrato nti say enu na invoice bi ebo anan eco Flagstaff House enra na ye European Union delegation omokoe na omampania be de chire de asemi atodwa se economy no hihi men say santi mo manfo hwa kom mo trimpo enya judi na nema be koyie na yekura hia foreign direct investment no na atimi aba na nema koyie Honorable Ahmed
yeah me
anema ehihye yie de
as a matter of fact let me say many this month figures, but as at December last year, that was November, we have figures ne statistics mampenye di ba finance minister di ba parliament economy no ejina ne na so. By clearly speaking, say we share and America say next 2 weeks and minister for finance obesan di ni financial budget and the financial starting the performance of the economy no the actual performance or the parliament
but so ochina so you betting who be weak akra
yes ochina so omanpanyin so e de ne de no beba but clearly speaking so the performance of the previous year the challenges and gains And sana or the projected projections of the account. Until now, Mecca said it's too early for us to be making this debate because you may not have the needed facts.
On the part of Bia Baumia, dear Ban say Vice President.
Mekofa 2 months ago figures Nidia. Then Mecca say we know the Vice President can no one so.
See, and someone catch say a budget deficit no. 20% crane I didn't home.
And I was a we are parliamentarian, yes, yes, in the Eduma. We mean to me, Parliament can say yes, yes, yes. I have to back it with facts. In the facts, and I mean, it will be too wrong for me to say the Vice President, the Baumia can and okay. But I clearly know that based on the Finance Minister did bar last year.
No.
2 months ago, that was November 2012.
So, November 2012. Let's say 3 months.
18th November. So, 2 months. Okay. 2 months. Okay. And then I say Endra. Until who busy on that there, it may be wrong. But don't forget, say that was November and a co-election. Into a China Parliament and not in a constitution, no, I say, or Mampenny said he should bring the state of the nation into the state of the economy, the real economy into Ochina and answer Ochina now because the NDB to ya. A one the figures now, Finance Minister Eddie Bano, echo compare. But what is the work of opposition? Ebia Dr. Baumia Kasa, like you are saying. Or no so at me the research work I could behind the back door. I could the oversight responsibility as an responsible opposition leader. And all the figures no ever. But you see, Endra Bisa honorable MP for Tafo, Old Tafo.
Dr.
Akuto say. He said it clear, say he's not in government. So until they bring those figures, no honor obey to me. And well, you may not have everything. And at a certain point, when say no, because you may be tarnishing your own image. Who can be there? No, can be now and Papa.
Dr. Baumia issue no specifics no indicators are they calculating in your money
clearly. Dr. Baumia may say
document
Baumia statement in by Vice President there will be based on the old facts. I mean, one of the say the economy is on track. So now that's clearly what I'm saying. Yes.
Sana huno.
Sana me huno.
Sana person kana na say sana huno.
Oh, amanya me huno me di hu adanse.
Okay. Well, sha nyema bibia e fine.
Bibia da ne kwan mu.
Okay.
We may have challenges. Clearly speaking, but it is not as bad as some might want us to believe.
And say cry.
No, that's a cry.
Okay. Okay. But that's it.
But you see, the man maker say it's too early for us to be making this. I feel a minister for
budget.
Even the deputy crow,
no correct.
And the old minister is gone. So a new thing altogether, a new form of.
But one fact, I may be Ghanaians, Eddie more measurement, and he said, Abano, on one at Wasunti. If you near, say new, no. I am no one fanya and papa.
So I'm better it was.
Oh, sir, and then this year by Yana.
When you're 2 months, 4 months, now Tatos Munna friend, caretaker government. Caretaker government for 4 months. I feel now that
sir, Abana is when this year by Yana.
Clearly speaking, but we had some serious constitutional challenges.
And you can't issues bordering your economy now. Your vice president, the then vice president, or your president is he. Sata one and head economic committee.
Partially, I may agree with you because even the finance minister was a deputy finance minister by then. But you see, Ghana had
and the vice president too was the governor of Bank of Ghana.
It was Subambi or
that's the same faces now around.
And one thing I only did do, but just I didn't want to go further.
Okay.
Because he had the economic fundamentals. And on one ability year up to the time. Just 4 months and no free or so still based on the old facts there. I will agree with him. But on no free or I could be vice president just for 4 months. And I buy more. Come not do for say Tekwa. So say Tekwa is yet to set up. There were certain things that come not do for free or no. They may not be as they used to be. So we are yet to see Setekwe's
any changes but any diverse.
Clearly, that's the argument I'm building.
Okay. Me that's minimum. What they update to who we are. We have been premier say fufra. Even right titles.
Medini titles global.
Titus Glover. I'm Mimbo.
It's my first name.
Say Udi Nama, if you put the print and Numwa, Daniel, need quartet Titus Glover. Okay, Kabu, if we know ya can get them. What is that, Ahmed? Who be son is no? Eddie Mano. Oh, was it? Nabutre. Banda for Mutie. Muche. Ahmed see. Ekoye. Ide big. One kind of be, Mr. Okay,
so am I ashamed to say he
No. Or see the banda for Mutie Muche. Or see ide be. A citra young woman can some way. Ide big. In so some ide big. Petro, and when he has a betum, ide big. When the price of the crude on the world market was $147, NPP and J Kufuor ate on 52,000 old Ghana cedis. And then the price of the crude is hovering between $105 and $106 or $7 a barrel. Would you call almost close to 100,000 old Ghana cedis?
How much was a dollar?
Natri.
Don't just take one.
It is not the duty of the people of this country.
And it is your duty to explain the fact that they are.
Let me do my analysis. No one team as here. And yet me any Ghana for no much no. Ya said it. Say exchange rate. It's not a duty. It is your duty to fix it. What I say? Total recovery levy now you buy pay under recoveries. 7.2 trillion old Ghana cedis and ye go G. Emubi and a yedi puntujuma e Watermore refinery. Ebini boiler. Ebini fire tender station. Ebini new crude distillation tanks. A crew and the bar. 3 new ones you see here. A champa breastwo. Old ones you see here, you refurbish here. Ye numan kesen e Watermore refinery. Emubi and a yedi tuya residual fluid catalytic cracker RFCC plant no aye tuo muka and we're left about 1.4 yen bisa and then on some Monday today is Wednesday isn't it na metie me penning Mr. Alex Mold ye bisa no recovery levy hanya wajiri he was dodging the question total recovery levy no ahina mwaji e wo Ghana for some you are continue to take the money ide big go to tomorrow refinery. It's a shame on this.
Since last year, July.
Juma.
But the more refinery. The information about say by next month. That's March.
Natri.
Bit me
Natri.
But I mean, Natri.
Missing Nabutre. And this are buying under President Mahama. I prefer say private people are NDC form pay for chassis and crack finished products and fango them all refinery. Na yenton finished product no since I be bought them all refinery. Na yenya crude yenya faso. Na yemfa sese plant one na faso babaso. Enu bi yekan. Mo kan no kra no enkyere Ghana man. Enu na Dr. Baumia e ka kire yen say the fundamentals are wrong. So we say single digit inflation. It must reflect in the interest rates. It must reflect in the cost of living. And then the cost.
Enya no bi no kokan statistical service for chese figures ono dey and
o si nyama na nkunta no mo hwe ne yiye. Enyama ni bi that were not factored into the basket. Omo hwe wo yiye. They need the resources na ebe ma oma yomudwuma no no ma ye ne yiye.
But at least it was the old basket.
And you're beginning. And this is not telling us the truth. Trust me, Ochina President Ba, he's not going to say anything new. Deja vu. There is nothing newer. President Eba. What I say? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And Odebetuga. Now, Yanya say, I can't walk up more elections. You're gonna forget you. Marco to church the Niama cars, Eddie Mankola, students, and you wasted all this money.
That was global more than Moka.
What's it? Yawabem. Oh, Femodi. Yawabem. Are we in government? Use the money on the people. Mun says the canoe Ghana for no. Sikano, Mun say Ghana for.
Nanya Ghana for now. I'm yet to see from the president. Maybe we or no president only device the free one. All those in executive positions should be able to pay for their own fuel. Our salary, they have factored fuel into it. All ministers of state, all their deputies, state-owned organizations, chief executives, chief directors, and deputy, all of them, you know, fuel.
Since when?
What I say?
Since when?
And this is here. Family. And the mamma be passing sa cost no infant to yeso. Say Ghana for better sa kan. Obia enko pompo no yi sika enfini ko to kom enfa ko tuaka. Say MP. Ene matopo. And the minister who fie na wo kwa enko ji coupon. Ball coupon. Na mu tuaka. Na mu wia, na mu dia beto yeso. Say yenko tuaka. And the beginning ide big keke no emu ne ewi. Ide big keke no ene NDC ni bi anu na me tie one of the radio stations or shebu t-shirt and ya to fair no or you go Jesus say hey manafo who's it
radio station or share NDC t-shirt titles
na me can say me tie I was listening whilst driving
no say t-shirt
or shebu t-shirt no ndi go see ya no o ka say fair
obi na cancer asem no radio no okay
wow and also go Jesus say manafo na dey woni Ghana ide bi keke no mu dey ewi isi say bi ani wa ide mama skada wo de ma no no na ma we enti yesre
ezi de big keke ezi Africa e ma nsesa
ye menja skada wo de ma ye no sisa no skada wo de ma ye no you should not expect a change because the ye besre endi si mun kan no kre enchire Ghana man enko ye enne e ka mo jade ato from 9 billion up to 24 billion dollars. President Kufuor ni MPP apan sika ndi se for free Ghana for some in terms of tax increment over 1,000 folds. Yenye se sika. We share gold any cocoa sika a price akon amanoni enye se sika bi ni yanya. We share loans some wa free abroche di aba enye sika ketwa. Ena yesanso di oye sika e di aba peso e di amamo. And the juma was some ye wo kromo. Ni ndu bi na ma ye no. Ba me na ka nasem. Wo ko e na wo jam rickety tikoka. Me di be ye juma sa and the market metro mass transport. You can't compare yourself to me. You cannot compare yourself to me. Ya ye juma ding e the jetre di amamo. Enti me hwa ni odi baba.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, deja vu, there's nothing new.
Okay.
I'm president Ebeka, nothing, the same old story. I can you know judgment debts. Your priority is to pay judgment debts. Ghana. Beginning, it was somebody po. Last year, asking over 280 million new Ghana citizens on judgment debts. And they, Maba.
Femodin. Yanto aso ewo Adom TV Badwam dwumadi so pensepesem ne eguso mesa akọ Honorable Ibrahim Ahmed so na yakwa wie na ansa na no ene amaman kamasem efri ade so hu owu a meka say dwumadi wo hwe bi na ni age pa anka wo sere e man ho ban no a anka eye nanso enso anwodwo ya de ama na ye mere mesere wa won say ye wonu ni wonu bi ye tatahwe pa for ni kire Dr. De Heba Center Dr. De Heba Center eho ena okudura wayaresa no ewo wo de se wonyini a kone kosohwe na wi a brabedi ho adanse omo number no eye 0244 204 985 0244 204 985 na 020 818 6815 Dr. De Heba Clinic ewo nkoko ku djura wase Oboba village no echi hono a afen so unse brebia ne de ba yese breda ne no ana ne hu bia ahwe be kakra jizo twa hu kutu ansa no hu se uti etua so to hu ti breda ne no ada ne hu bi na brebia so ne de epie enu nti na multi tv se wo ko ye focus channel na say jumadi esunko aba news generation a chese kwakohwe na nkura pa totofe wa rebrofo kan news so hwe bi da ya pe bi hwe wate eba nkura be say 12 years ko 15 years no so hu na 30 minutes omo kosiada multi tv focus channel 3:30 pm na eba na fe joy news channel so 4 pm kosiada kro na anti shade so na eduru ho no ma wo so watimi ahwe bi oba no kane nanka mo ase danta obehwe na akoda wo ba no eno na ma nipa bibiri ya lanta no wusua na kwea ma mede bo bia na so pa jesa na kokwa tubehu anze odi sa na de anyina nante no wada ne alanta ene Esther 4 Ventures akwakofa bolombo ni cute baby diapers e de aba odi bibo akoda na otina pakan mu akoda odi no fo hye nanim anu aka no fo na adwembone e na aba akoda ne trim ebi a diaper na hye no nemu wo hye so ho nti de how bibiri e na ebra akoda no bono cute anase ye bolombo baby diaper ni bi na afi ye cute sanitary pad so ho no ma oba obesiesie ho a eno na emfa ho ene trouser obesha na skirt obeshe kitwa bi na nso eno no bibia kama de ma ema ho te ema enka ema ho Stefan Ventures ena akwakofa sa enepei edi abedwa so kuma sigin ame house omo ben Diamond Link Academy School no ewo edrum obetimi afre wo mo ewo 0242 665 050 ana 0242 028877 baby abeko bia asoto sanitary pad ana se baby diaper also pe cute ana se bolombo eno ene beboa ama obi bia akoyi afi agbeve Heba Hospital eno enene ukoku dru so tuom last stopper dan no kakraka ni siwo mfidie ahyimu ma be mfidie nie enuro nie ayaresa nie umpewe na apedie fisika ekokogye ayaresa papa enye baby akwa oyare no ye kwakofrem ama mpo akotumu nkyene ama mpo ya woti ko se to anana na monse we de okwa enyanto boase di mfidie ado ni pedua no masuko ehunu entrinum eni no mpenum ni mojanum baby ayare na hinta nyama anu aduro agbeve Heba Hospital ko na kogye ayaresa yade bia me mbodi yare bia ha obi ade ko ho na ekokohwe die nyankopon beye om number ni 0246 594256 0246 595256 na 020 8380 meeting edna na say ampofo eje na mene eye tema East MP Honorable Daniel ni Kwate Titus Glover ena afi Banda MP ono nso din eni Ibrahim Ahmed Honorable asembe na wo kan edi atwato dia nkomo aya twetwe nyina
ne me kan say menua am the send titles wo kan no energy fuel price no untimi mfa just the rate per barrel no the dollar
as
rate
as it is now
the exchange rate and all those factors must be factored in because into udini nyina ka bom now the year analysis and then you'll be doing justice to the subject and being fair to our listeners. Na eno nanche menua ne akoba
30 seconds pe wadama
ne akoba nde me no wo sa dunso we ni da energy crisis we munyina menua ne say parity for a omoko attack ship where my West African gas pipeline say ya gas no intimima and that is what has ended us where we are.
Intisi ahwe ni mungo sida be wadama.
Energy minister said by April they may be able to repair the gas pipeline. So mutimi ya the gas will flow from Nigeria and eba so it will continue as it used to be. Into another 1 second factor. Then the last of it all, let's say is it baby ekudru no MPs within parliament intimacy and take a decision. So muka say omo kwa rely on national executive. National executive so be bere wa omo parliament.
Boycott no munya.
Omo parliament da. Into who ko trauma on parliamentary practice and procedure. No no ko dictate ama Mugabis no muti say papa wo so no jogate no mo parliament 20 years 30. And a party people no nya free outside the bar. Won't mean say umpre. Over president no
honorable
so they should listen from within parliament. No mo so among advisor mo say near no enconsider be. But we listen. Sir, we president free parliament, executive free parliament. It becomes difficult for you to find. Ajumano be no
me das me naso. Honorable Titus Glover. 30 seconds wadaroma ebre news.
Adi bakubi e ha me kakra.
TTM.
Enura me pom parliament. We could do them around 4:30. Na TM before ebubu edwadefo epron ni niama e wo casino area ho. E na me dwane ko. Because 2 tax force for no. Ti me frɛ mo leader no. Na me ne e kasa. Masa ekroma ye di o. Ekroma ye di papa. Assembly na ma homo up to the end of March. And that was 19th of February. E mekura na munia mankrofa kura no. E menu kwa ndu. Ya bia school kwai. E wo see tue school fees. Abenjuma no ebi ni ho. Ankrankra dwuma ya na mai akoji busi a woni yipa dwuma anwaye e de ahwe wo fie. na musa mu niam nti be catch tax force me say
omunya botre okay
wuta say omunya botre ni anhwe kwan be fa so ye be dane kakra afi de we can do because sankrofo enya ye bu omu den yi a omo muntu a ye gini kakra and DC or call South Africa the medical bills yakoto dia ma no 280 million
yeah that's it actually ye baba sa ensem no eso ye beda ye mpani for ase honorable Daniel Kwaite Titus Glover ni din na what o ba na ni Kwaite Titus Glover tema east mrasebedwani na afi banda mrasebedwani honorable Ibrahim Ahmed se ene ombeka nsa ma ye din pensimpensemu ebre o menso medin ni nanase ampofoji ye de ebesia ye beto aso nyame adoma wachina na ansa na ye twa ho abane abedin komo wo bi mpacho twen ne tie bi na komo no efa ho